Get out. Those were the only two words I could force out as I stared at my wife, my phone buzzing in my hand from an unknown number that somehow knew exactly what I had been too afraid to ask. She froze mid-step, her eyes widening as if she already understood what the call meant. And maybe that was the moment I realized I hadn't been imagining things all along. She knew this day would eventually come. The call had lasted barely 3 seconds. A calm voice, almost apologetic, had said, "You deserve to know the truth. Ask her about Friday nights." No name, no explanation, just that. When I looked up from my phone, she didn't look confused. She looked tired, guilty, like someone who had mentally rehearsed this moment but still prayed it would never arrive. My voice trembled. "Do you want to explain?" I asked, trying to sound steady, but the shaking in my hands betrayed me. She opened her mouth as if she had a prepared answer, then closed it again. Instead of speaking, she slowly sat down on the edge of the couch. "I don't know where to start," she whispered. "That's usually what people say," I replied with a bitter laugh that didn't even sound like mine. "Start anywhere, because someone out there thinks I should know what's happening on Fridays." She pressed her palms together and stared down at them. Her breathing became shallow, and I could tell she was choosing her words carefully, not to protect me, but to protect herself. Finally, she spoke. "It's not what you think." I nearly laughed again. "Then what is it?" I asked. She looked up at me, her eyes filled with something between regret and fear. "I felt lonely," she said quietly. "You've been so distant lately." I blinked, stunned. "Distant?" I repeated slowly. "I've been working 2 jobs because we both agreed we were trying to build a future." She shook her head. "I didn't mean it like that. I started talking to someone from work. At first, it felt harmless." That word, harmless, hit me like a punch to the chest. "So, Friday nights?" I asked. She swallowed hard. "We talked. Sometimes we had dinner together." She cleared her throat nervously. "I didn't think it would hurt you if nothing physical happened." The room fell into silence. My heart sank, not out of anger, but because of how casually she said it, as if emotional secrecy didn't matter, as if my feelings were simply obstacles she could quietly step around. "You hid it from me," I whispered. "That alone hurts." She wiped her eyes. "I know, and I'm sorry. I should have told you I was struggling. I just didn't want to start a fight." I stared down at the carpet, breathing slowly so I wouldn't fall apart right there. "You didn't avoid a fight," I said quietly. "You avoided accountability." She covered her face with both hands, her shoulders shaking. For a brief moment, I saw the woman I had married, confused, flawed, human. Not a villain, just someone who had lost her direction. But pain doesn't care about intentions. It only understands the wound it leaves behind. "So, what happens now?" she asked in a fragile voice. I sighed. "I don't know," I admitted. "But I need space. You need to go stay with your sister for a few days." She nodded slowly, wiping her tears with trembling fingers. "If that's what you want, it's what I need," I replied. She packed quietly. There was no yelling, no dramatic confrontation. Just two people silently moving through the ruins of something they once believed was unbreakable. When she reached the door, she paused. "I never meant to damage us," she whispered. I nodded. "But you did." When the door closed behind her, the house felt unbearably quiet. I sat on the couch staring at my phone, half expecting another unknown call. 20 minutes later, a text arrived. "I'm sorry. You didn't deserve any of this. She wasn't honest with you or with him." "Him," I typed back immediately. No response. But somehow that single message confirmed something deep inside me. This wasn't just loneliness or innocent dinners after work. There was another layer she hadn't confessed yet. Later that night, she texted me again, long paragraphs filled with apologies, explanations, and desperate pleas for another chance. I read every word carefully and felt an unexpected calm settle over me. Not anger, not revenge, just clarity. For the first time in months, I finally understood something important. Trust isn't only broken by actions, it's broken by the choices someone makes long before those actions ever happen. Choices she made without me. Choices she justified to herself. Choices she hid until someone else exposed them. But the part that surprised me the most was this. I didn't hate her. I wasn't even sure I wanted to end the marriage. What I wanted was honesty. I wanted the chance to rebuild something real, something healthy, with boundaries neither of us had respected enough before. The next morning, I sent her a message. We'll talk, but only if you're ready to tell me everything. No more half-truths. Her reply came almost instantly. I am. I'll do anything. Maybe we'll survive this. Maybe we won't. But something inside me has changed. For the first time, I'm choosing myself. Not out of anger or pride, but because I know I deserve clarity, respect, and peace. She broke me. Yes, but inside those cracks, I discovered a version of myself who finally understands what he wants and what he will never accept again.